Hi, I'm Madeleine. Well, I bet you're wondering why a cool kid like me ended up in a children's home. Well, here's my story. So, I was born on November 1st, 2006. The day that I was born, my mom was on drugs, so the hospital found that out and took away her parental rights. Now, my dad was always out of the picture. I don't know who he is to this day, so sometimes I just like to think of him as some European king somewhere in this world. There I was, 1 day old with no mom and no dad. I could kind of relate to the orphan Annie, just me and Annie singing and dancing, looking for our daddy Warbucks. From the time I was born to 4 years old, I bounced around from foster family to foster family. Eventually, the score became foster family 10 and daddy Warbucks 0. But I was hopeful that the sun would come out tomorrow, as my good friend Annie says. During that time, I was in a lot of DCF workers' offices. They would ask me many questions about the families that I was with. Questions like, are they nice? Do they hit or yell at you? Do you feel safe in their homes? One day, when I walked into a caseworker's office, I saw a family standing before me, and my life changed forever. They had a little boy and a little girl with them, and I remember the little girl walking up to me and handing me a pink blanket. And I remember looking down and thinking, like, who's it for? And she told me that it was mine to keep forever. And I remember just feeling so loved. And then I remember going home with them and walking to a room that they said was my room. And it was just pink, all the walls were pink, and it kind of looked like a castle. And it just made me feel so loved. And I was able to know that this family was here to help me and to change my life. That family fought for me. They went to many court hearings, and they even convinced the state to let me be a part of their own family. I was adopted, but unlike Annie, my story doesn't start in a children's home, it ends in one. When I was first adopted, my life was great, but then things went downhill from there. I started to act out, and I really pushed my family away. I'm not sure why, but I pushed my mom away. So much so that she ended up getting me counselors and therapists, and we came up to the conclusion that I just needed to go away for a little bit. So I packed my bags and I headed to Hope Children's Home in Tampa, Florida. And there I was, at the age of 10, feeling like orphan Annie again. On the day that I got dropped off at Hope, I said bye to my siblings, my sister, my brother, and even my dad, but I didn't say anything to my mom. I blamed her for what had happened, and I was so angry at her for everything. It took some time, but eventually I made things right with my adoptive family. I used to hate talking to my mom or being around her, but now whenever I look at her, I just love her and I love talking to her and being around her. And whenever they call, I make sure to never hang up until I tell her that I love her. I've learned not to bottle in that bitterness, and I've let go of the bitterness that I had from my past. And since doing that, I've grown a huge relationship with my family, but an even bigger one with my mom. The biggest change since coming into the home is that I got saved. And now I have a heavenly Father above who will never leave me. And plus, he is way richer than Daddy Warbucks. I'm thankful that even though my biological mom wasn't allowed to take care of me, that God saw fit for another mom to be placed into my life. And I'm thankful that through the help of Hope Children's Home, I have mended the bitterness from my past, and I've even opened up my heart to my mom. But I've also gained a pretty cool Hope family too. Mother's Day may be a hard day for many people. I mean, I know it is for us kids here at Hope. But I hope that whatever your situation is, that you can give a hug, share a phone call, or even say an I love you to your mother or your mother figure that's in your life. From us here at Hope to you, Happy Mother's Day.